JB Technologies here once again. And this is pretty much an advisory video of sorts. Now, I had had a couple of videos earlier, where I showed the inside of a 21 and a half inch iMac, and I think it was like a 27 inch iMac. And I kind of said within the 27 inch iMac how easy it is to remove the back of the system there in the 27 inch in order to remove or upgrade the memory. And how I said with the 21 inch, it's very difficult to upgrade the memory because you have to go on board in order to change out or switch out the memory. This right here is what I mean, okay? I pretty much dissected this iMac like I was dissecting a frog in high school, okay? I don't know if they still do that in high school, but as they say, back in my day, we did that in biology class. So you can see that I had to take out pretty much piece by piece on the board or the actual iMac itself. This is one of the sound boards. This is the thing for the hard drive. I took that part for the hard drive out. That is this right here. You have to take out this particular piece that's screwed onto here in order to get to this board and kind of disconnect this piece right here in order to get this board off and to actually access this piece. Not only that, you still have to unscrew the thing here, which this should be for, I think it's the sound or whatever it is, but that is, connected to this up here, because this is it's not only flipped, but it's upside down here, as you see, as in reference to actual board, because this is actually at the top. You can see the camera right here. This is the top of the iMac, but you kind of see right here what it means to try to get to the memory system or whatever it is and all of that. So that tells you what you have to do in order to either replace or upgrade the memory there in an iMac 21 inch. So I'm telling you, that's why I advise to just take it to the iMac store or whatever it is if you're trying to upgrade the memory for an iMac. If you do have an iMac that's around a 2015 or 2017 or something like that, they're still good machines. It's just that, like I said, it's one thing to upgrade the hard drive. It's a completely different thing to upgrade the memory. And for this one here, you need DDR4s. You need DDR4s here for this one. Now, as of this particular point, don't necessarily have DDR4s on me right now. I would have to order them, but just showing here how difficult it is to either replace or upgrade the memory, because again, like I said, this piece here is in the back. Actually, you can see in the bottom, this is where you see all the USB slides. You see the thing for the SD card, USB 2.0 or 3.0 or whatever it is, the thing there for the Ethernet and all that type of stuff. And it takes a whole lot to disconnect all of the pieces on here, all of the screws, all of the connections, all of that, just to get to the memory. So that's why I highly discourage people to do this unless if you have all of the equipment, all of the materials to do that, all of the screwdrivers and the pieces of screwdrivers. This is not even one. This is just a small Phillips screwdriver, but you would need one of those where you could have all the detachable pieces and things like that. You could see me take this off right here and all of that. But that is what is needed in order to remove a lot of these screws. And there's even one that's even smaller that you would need to remove the screws here for taking this off. So that just tells you how much it takes in order to upgrade the memory on an iMac, pretty much for a 21 inch in comparison to a 27 inch iMac. So there you go. All right. Now, like I said, you get DDR4s, at least for this particular edition of the iMac. And then you could just see from here and imagine how much it will take in order to piece this back together. Now, am I gonna do this here like right now? As they say, hell no, to the no. I ain't doing that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just, have this here as it is. And then you know what? I'm gonna see about whether I get the memory sticks or not. I'm going to see if I can get this back together piece by piece and then post it up. I don't know how long it would take for me to do that, but I may try to do that. So if you're watching this, and if you could leave a comment, leave a like or something like that. But if you leave a comment saying that, hey, see if you could piece this back together, I'm going to see if I could do that here and then have it all on video. But at least you see here with this, piece of a motherboard here. And like I said, DDR4 slots right here, but it takes a whole lot because this is like part of the, thing that goes here. And you see I took the fan off, took the part off for where the hard drive is. You got, another part of the system board, this part here, as far as like the speakers and all of that. It's just absolutely crazy to try to get this thing put together. But that's what it is there. And oh man, it is just absolutely insane. That's why, I like just usually dealing with, as far as like repair or upgrades, dealing with MacBooks, MacBook Pros, that type of thing, particularly the older models. As you know, the new models, everything is on board. So you can't necessarily do that many upgrades on the newer MacBooks or MacBook Pros and stuff like that. But something like around 2017 and earlier, yeah, you could do that. That's why I deal with like MacBook Pros are like from 2012 or 2013, because at least you could, add memory on there to up to like 16 gigabytes or something like that. But outside of that, everything you have to buy as is on board, because you really don't have much for upgrades. Now, I might do a video on that as far as like the MacBook Pros, so then you'll be able to, kind of like tell the difference if you haven't like seen it already. So that's what I got here for JB Technologies, signing off.